Hello, and welcome back to yet another video. This is the third episode of a story in which 10-year-old Naruto meets Minato from future and that turns Naruto's life upside down. As Naruto lives a happy life in which he is trained by Minato and later Kushina too. After you've finished watching, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. To begin, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get the party started. When Naruto woke up he found that his father was not in his bed. He must be preparing breakfast, thought. However, Minato was not in the kitchen. After a quick searching through all the house he found him in his original bedroom. His father was looking at the mirror. He was wearing a traditional Konoha Jonin uniform with vest and all. He also had a white jacket with red flames that looked like a cloak. "Dad, you look amazing," exclaimed Naruto looking at his father with stars in his eyes. "Thank you, Naruto. It's the old outfit I used to wear when I was Hokage." "I'm glad you like it," responded Minato with a smile. "You look like the photos in the books. Are you going to use it again?" asked Naruto. "No. At least until I reveal my true identity," responded his father. "When it is going to happen?" "I'm dying to see the villagers' faces when you reveal your true self, Daddy," said Naruto happily. "As soon as you got enough power to defeat most of the enemies we will face after the revelation, my kid," responded Minato with a hand in Naruto's shoulder. "Then I will get stronger as soon as possible, so you will wear your cool jacket again," vowed Naruto. Minato smiled, then he took off his jacket and put it on Naruto's shoulders. "It will look cooler with you wearing it." "The future Rakudime," said proudly. Naruto blushed and smiled at his father's compliment. He was really happy to have somebody also believing that he was going to be Hokage. Suddenly he was being hugged by his father. He hugged him back. I'm so happy to being with you again, and Naruto. The way why you accepted me back in your life," said almost crying. I'm happy too, Daddy. I never expected to get you back," said Naruto crying. Naruto was unaware that the other reason his father hugged him was because the ex-Kage was afraid that he would never love him again after this day. They had a good breakfast courtesy of the demi-clones and headed to their usual training ground. This time Minato decided that they would go there walking for see how the villagers react to them. He was glad to see that those who dared to glare at them lowered their ranks after yesterday's event. However, he was unaware that those who hated Naruto were going to take a more active behavior in the next weeks. Meanwhile, they did a good work hiding their hate. When they arrived at the training ground, Minato headed to his son. "Okay, Naruto, create 5 clones, dividing your chakra equally among them." Naruto nodded. "Yes, sensei." Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shouted. In a poof of smoke 5 additional Naruto appeared. Minato did the same, creating 5 copies of himself. Minato headed at the first clone. "You will create as many copies of yourself as you can and they will perform the water walking technique while you rest. They will do in the water the exercises one that of my clones will tell them. Past an hour you will dispel them, then dispel yourself." Minato headed to the original Naruto. "When you get this clone's memories you will create another clone to replace him. That clone will do the same cycle again. The purpose of the exercises is to make your water walking ability something that you can do with no effort, improving your chakra control in the process." The clone nodded and went to the lake accompanied by one of Minato's clones. He headed to the second clone. "Like your brother, you will create as many copies of yourself as you can. They will perform the tree walking technique. They also will do the exercises my clone will tell them. You will dispel them and yourself when past an hour too. Naruto, you'll do the same as before when you receive this clone's memories. The purpose of the exercises is the same as the water walking ones. They also will improve your balance." The clone headed to the forest with Minato's clone. He headed to the third and fourth clones. "Each of you will create as many clones as you can, forming 2 teams. One team will attack the other team with throwing weapons while the attack team will dodge everything they can. When the defender team is dispelled their creator will recreate them again. When the attacker team is out of ammunition their creator will dispel them and recreated them again. When past an hour you will dispel yourselves like the other clones. The purpose of this is obviously to improve your aim and dodging ability. My clones will supervise the teams and advise them how to perform better." The clones and their instructors headed to their battlefield. He took a seal scroll from his pouch. He unsealed a pile of books and headed to the 5th clone. "You will create as many clones as you can. They won't need much chakra for each of them because they won't do such exhausting duties as the other clones, so you can create hundreds of them. You will take one of the books and divide it among the clones. Each clone will have to memorize the page or pages they will receive. They will dispel themselves when they finish memorizing their pages. The more clones you create the less work each of them will do. When all clones are dispelled, dispel yourself. You will dispel yourself only when you finish memorizing the book. Naruto, when you get this clone's memories you will create another one for replace him. My clone will go with you to make sure that each clone will be doing his duty and for help them if they don't understand something. The clone left the place grumbling something about the others doing the funny things accompanied with a sighing Minato clone. Finally he headed to the last clone. The clones you will create will fight among themselves with taijutsu. They are forbidden to block, they have to dodge each attack. The best defense is not being in the place where the fist or knee pass. While they fight my clone will watch them and tell you how to improve your skill. When all clones are dispelled you will recreate them. Past you will dispel yourself too and Naruto will create another clone for the duty. Obviously the purpose of this exercise is to improve your taijutsu. The clone left the place with his instructor, obviously happy to have the most funny exercise. Minato headed to Naruto. Well Naruto, as the only one who can do the body physical progress. For begin you will start with 100 sit-ups, 200 push-ups and will make 300 runs around the field. Oh yes, I will also improve your weights of 50, said smiling under his mask Fiesta. I mean sensei, I will do everything in a few minutes, said an enthusiastic Naruto. After Minato performed the Funjutsu that improved the weights, the kid started the sit-ups immediately, without trying to adjust himself to the new weight. Kushi-chan. He looks like me but the way he behaves like you. When he acts like this I can see that a part of you will be with us forever, thought Minato dreamily. Sensei, asked Naruto, why did I have to create a clone who will create the clones of each duty? And why they have to dispel themselves past hour? Wouldn't it be more easy if I created all clones we need and make them work until they wore out all their chakra? Those are good questions Naruto, let me explain. The clones you created will receive the memories of all clones they created when they dispel and you will receive that clone's memories. This way you will receive the memories of all clones gradually instead of receiving them together so you won't feel the mental stress you had other times. My clones will make sure that you will receive only the memories of a single clone each time one that you created is dispelled. Naruto was amazed with his father's solution to the drawback of his training. Minato continued, the reason the clones you created, minus the ones who have to study, have to dispel themselves is very easy. Each clone you create after that will have the combined training of all the dispelled ones. Same will happen with the ones they will create. For example, you have 30 water walking clones do the exercise for an hour, each one has an hour of training. What means 30 hours of training for you? Then the clone who created them dispels them and himself. You got 30 hours of training. You recreate the clone and then he recreates the others. Each of the new clones will have 30 hours of training instead of 1 hour of training if you didn't dispel them. That means they will improve faster and better than with the old method and their progress is your progress. You're a genius Tosan. With this training I'll be Hokage in no time and you won't have to hide your face anymore, cheered Naruto, forgetting that in training time he had to call Minato sensei. Thank you Naruto, we will continue this training for the rest of the morning, we will eat in the afternoon and you will spar with me in the evening, said Minato. Hi, responded Naruto, keeping with his exercises. The morning passed without incidents, then they headed to the Ichiraku ramen stand. Minato let Naruto have some bowls of the not-so-healthy varieties of ramen. He didn't order anything. Naruto said when his son finished, you have 2 hours of free time, don't prank anybody who doesn't deserve it, we will meet in the same spot, said ruffling his hair. Thank you dad, see you later, said leaving the place. He was too happy that he didn't notice the worry in his father's eyes. What's going on Arashi-san? Said Tucci, trying not to call Minato Yondaime-sama. It's something bothering you? It's nothing, responded Arashi, obviously lying. Don't say that. I can plainly see that you are worried for something. Why don't you tell me while we have a cup of sake? Perhaps I can help you. Minato denied the offer. No, sake won't work on me, I'll tell you. I'm scared. What? Why are you scared? What can put you in this state? Said Tucci. Tucci-san, I'm afraid that Naruto will hate me after I'm going to say. Today I'm going to tell him the truth about the fox, said Minato. Tucci was speechless. He would hate to be in Minato's position, telling his own son that he was the responsible of his loneliness and a group of S-class nins after him. You Uzumaki-sama. Don't worry, he won't hate you. I think you made a good choice deciding to tell him the truth soon. He won't feel as fooled that if you wait a few years. Sooner or later he will know the truth. I think it's better that if you tell him yourself instead of an enemy. I never saw him so happy before you came back. He will forgive you, I'm sure. Thank you Tucci-san, you encouraged me. How much I owe you? Said Arashi. This goes on the house. And good luck, responded the cook. That evening Minato had his spar with his son. Both of them were surprised how much the kid improved with the new special training in a day. Naruto would be soon Chunin level in his skills. Minato thought proudly that in a few days his son will be ready for learn their family's jutsus. Then he reminded what he had to tell him. "Naruto, please. Stop. I must tell you something," said worried. What is going on, sensei?" responded Naruto, noticing his father's concern. "Naruto. I'm going to tell you what really happened the day the Kyuubi attacked. To be continued? Sorry for another cliffhanger. I don't know if I will be able to post next chapter in the next week. I guarantee you that you'll have it before next month. That chapter will be crucial in the story. I bet many of you recognized a famous fan art of Minato and Naruto in this chapter. If someone recognizes it, please give me the link." When she woke up, she was in the flower field where they confessed their love to each other. She would have thought that she died, singing a lullaby to his child for a last time while her husband was looking at them sadly. Where are them? Then, in the distance, she saw Gamabunda confronting the fox. No. He is going to do it. She rushed to the place of the battle, not noticing the body that was left in the field, a woman who looked like herself. She arrived at the scene only to see the end of the battle. "Funjutsu, Shiki Fu Ujin," shouted the man holding the baby. A creepy figure appeared behind the man and stabbed him from behind with his claw-like hand. "No," exclaimed her. The dark energy of the god of death flowed through her loved one, and reached their child amongst the horrible cries of pain of both of them. A spiral symbol appeared in the child's belly, inside the seal that his father created between tears. A ghostly hand emerged from there and got inside the fox, who was held back by the Lord of the Toads. Slowly, that hand dragged the fox inside the child's belly. The cries of pain from the father and son were unbearable. Please stop," cried in her impotence. Nobody heard her. The process continued until the fox disappeared completely inside the kid. Then, lines of fire appeared in the child's cheeks. When they disappeared, 3 whisker-like marks were in each of the baby's cheeks, marking him as the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Forever. Konoha was saved. But there's no victory without a loss. The toad deposited the agonizing man and the child in the ground. "Minato. I can't stay anymore in this plane," said the toad in a guilty tone. It's okay. Thank you for helping me." "Goodbye my friend," responded the man while the toad vanished. She rushed to them and tried to hold his husband. To her horror, she saw how her hands went through them. Realization hit her. Kushina Uzumaki was now a ghost. Oblivious to her, his husband was talking to their son. What sort of father I am? Sealing the fox in my own son. And Naruto. I hope someday you will forgive me for giving you such burden. This shouldn't been happening. I hope the villagers treat you as the hero you are, my child. I wish your mother would have survived. Someday you'll meet her. Unfortunately I won't go to the same place as you. And Naruto, my son. I love you." With that last words, Minato Namikaze died. "Minato, no," cried Kushina in despair, between ghostly tears that disappeared when they touched the ground. The poor baby Naruto had lost both his parents, leaving him without any family. The next events were a nightmare to her. Jiraiya found her body in the flower field and buried it at the base of the bear where she died. Next, Sarutobi as the Hokage again explained to the citizens of Konoha what happened to the fox and her husband and how he wished the boy being seen as a hero. Unfortunately, the hate of the villagers was higher than the respect they had for their deceased leader, so the Hokage created a law promising a horrible punishment to anybody who dared to hurt the kid or tell the truth about what happened, with the hope that he would be accepted by the younger generations. Next years were a hell for both of them. Naruto was avoided by most of the population, although his friendly nature he didn't make any friends because those bastard parents poisoned their own children with their stupidity. She only could stay near him in his worst moments. Whenever he cried, she, in despair, extended her arms around him without touching him, mimicking a hug while she whispered consolation words that he never heard. For gaining attention he became a prankster whose blows against those who deserved it gave his mother the few smiles she had those years. Then he got into the academy. At the beginning they thought that things would get better, but to her horror he inherited her unusual large chakra reserves, making almost impossible for him to master the most basic chakra control exercises and jutsus. She also had that problem when she got into the academy, but she overcome it with Minato's help. Unfortunately he didn't have anybody to help him with his chakra. Same happened with the other subjects of his training. The other kids had the help of their parents while Naruto was alone. That frustrated him so much that he only studied enough to pass the grades, making him the dead last. Not everything was bad. He made some friends with the other dopes of the class who also were part of the clans who tried to adopt him: Kuji, Kiba, and Shikamaru. She noticed that the Chunin teacher Iruka softened with the time and even invited Naruto sometimes to ramen. She was also happy to see that the owner Ichiraku ramen stand was friendly to him. And there was that girl, Hinata Hyuga. She watched Naruto without him noticing, smiling with each small success he achieved and looking at him with admiration whenever he failed and tried again. Kushina realized that the girl was falling in love with his child. Her suspects were confirmed when Hinata left gift at Naruto's door in his 9th birthday. It was a frog-like wallet. If only Hinata were not too shy and got enough confidence to talk to Naruto without fainting, she could have become to Naruto what Minato become to herself. In his 10th birthday he received an orange jumpsuit that he adored. In fact, he changed almost all his wardrobe to look the same. Naruto was convinced that this year would be his last one as academy student and he would start his ninja career to become Hokage. But he failed because his bad chakra control. She was at the side of his son whispering him cheering words that he couldn't hear when he arrived. Unlike other villages, that man didn't look at Naruto with scorn. Instead of it, he looked furious with the villagers and that clothes. She thought she knew that clothes from before. Yes, he dressed like her husband did for his secret identity of Arashi Kazama. Then he showed his face. Minato? She was so shocked that she didn't listen to them until Minato told Naruto about her. She was the most beautiful woman on earth. My son, my best friend, my twin soul, my love. My wife, said Minato, trying to stop the tears in his eyes. Min-kun thought her at her husband's words. She realized that it was really him. And no, her son finally will know about his family. She cried of happiness when Naruto and Minato hugged each other. She wished that scene could last forever. No, everything would go fine. Then the Hokage came. Minato dispatched the fool Anbu. Later Sarutobi told Minato about Naruto's life. Nad the stupid villagers felt Minato's killing intent. Minato told the Hokage his story. It was almost unbelievable. Kushina never came to see me. She probably must hate me for what I did to her son, said sadly, hugging Naruto. I would never hate you, Minato. I was here with Naruto. After the incident with the proofs from the future, Minato took Naruto to the apartment and started to read the letter. Kushina was ashamed of not knowing what was in the letter. She was watching the punishment that horrible woman received while Naruto wrote it. She cried with Minato when they finished reading it. Next day she watched happily when Naruto realized that his father's return was not a dream. Naruto asked Minato about her. She was nervous about Naruto's impression when he finally would know about her. She blushed when Minato praised her and tried to knock him while he told Naruto about her defects. Those are not defects. Look, even Naruto agrees with me. Then Naruto started to cry and Minato tried to comfort him. Ike-no-shi is in a better place, happy for us not being alone anymore. Yes, I am, said while she mimicked hugging them. Later that day Minato and her discovered happily that there was more people that cared for Naruto. Then Minato started to give Naruto the appropriate training for him. Both of them were really proud when Naruto mastered the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu in less than a day. During that week Minato polished a lot of flaws in Naruto's instruction, raising his level higher than most of his classmates. Most times Minato decided to stop the training earlier and spend the rest of the day playing with Naruto or telling him things about the future. Talking about the future, something happened to her. She discovered that since Minato's return she now had memories where Naruto graduates when he is 12 years old. After discovering the truth about the QB, the formation of Team 7, the Wave Country mission, the Chunin exams, the invasion, Sasuke's defection, the 3-year travel with Jiraiya, the Akatsuki's moving out and Minato's resurrection. She realized that her future self was brought into the past with Minato and that they merged, gaining the future Kushina's memories. Naruto, Minato. If only I could tell you. At the end of that week came the day when Arashi Uzumaki would show his skills to Konoha. The first match was really easy. She looked angry at the other women when he fought against Guy with his jacket wide open. Stop drooling, you horny sluts, he is mine, she laughed seeing how her husband taming teacher and her friends gave the victory to Minato. She looked proudly at Minato in the 4th match until he got trapped in the genjutsu of the false Anbu and saw that he was going to be killed. Minato move out, cried. To her surprise he dodged the attack and dominated the match until it was discovered that the Anbu was really Itachi Uchiha. That night Minato took Naruto to their home. She felt guilty when they saddened because her absence, especially when they discovered what should have been Naruto's room. I'm so sorry, said her between tears. However, she was really happy when Naruto took the stuffed frog. Thank you for your present, Mom, I love it, whispered, hugging it with a smile. I knew you like it, my boy, responded her, mimicking a kiss in his forehead. The next day would have been another happy training day until Minato told Tucci that he was going to tell Naruto the truth about that night. Present time Naruto, please. Stop. I must tell you something, said worried. What is going on, sensei? Responded Naruto, noticing his father's concern. Naruto. I'm going to tell you what really happened the day the Kyuubi attacked. What do you want to say? The fox was killed by Y, tried to say Naruto before being interrupted. No, it wasn't. Nobody in Konoha had the power to destroy the creature, not even me, said Minato sadly, removing his mask. Then. What happened? Asked Naruto. I sealed the creature using the Shikifuujin, that was what killed me. Unfortunately, the only being able to contain him was a newborn baby with his chakra coils undeveloped so they could adapt to the Kyuubi's chakra. An adult would have exploded freeing the monster, said, looking guilty at his son. Then Naruto realized everything, the stairs, the adults evading him, nobody wanting him, the loneliness. He touched his whisker marks and that seal that appeared in his belly when he channeled chakra. That boy was me, whispered, looking at his father with an unreadable look. I don't know if you'll forgive me someday. As Hokage, I couldn't ask a family to sacrifice their child having mine. A Kage cannot demand his subordinates things that he couldn't do. I left as my last will to you, being seen a hero for keeping everybody safe from the Kyuubi, but they ignored it. That's the reason why I'm so angry with the villagers, said, not daring to look at his son's eyes. Why nobody told me, Taozen? Asked Naruto, confused. You still call me that, thought Minato with a hint of hope. The Sun Daime made a law forbidding everybody to tell about what happened in reality. He made it with the hope that you could made some friends, but the parents pass their hate to their children, said Minato, waiting to feel his son's hate. So that's the reason, exclaimed Naruto with a clap, not looking angry. Minato was speechless. I thought they disliked me because I was too loud and annoying, but it's nothing relative to my personality, said Naruto, looking relieved. And Naruto? You are not angry with me? Everything bad that happened to you was because me? Asked Minato, puzzled. No, why? What you said about choosing me had sense, and you wanted me to be seen as a hero, said Naruto, smiling. Minato felt immensely relieved at his son's words. Naruto continued talking. It's not your fault they hate me because I'm the Kyuubi. Then Naruto looked shocked at his own words. No, he misunderstood what I said, thought Minato, horrified. Naruto, you are not the monster, thought Kushina. I'm the monster who killed mom, said the boy, trembling, hugging himself. No, said two voices in unison. One was Minato's, the other came from behind a tree. Father and son looked at the tree, and the person who was hiding behind revealed herself. She was a girl around Naruto's age. She had short indigo hair and lavender eyes with no visible pupils. And Naruto-kun. You are not the Kyuubi, said Hinata, looking at Naruto. Why, you're a good person who always tries his best and never gives up, said, not believing the courage she was displaying now. A monster wouldn't try to make his classmates happy with his pranks. A monster wouldn't try to make friends among the villagers. A monster wouldn't want to become Hokage. Minato finally recognized the girl. Flashback: one day Naruto introduced him to his old classmates. When came the turn of the Hyuga heiress, she slapped him. How could you have done that to your son? Why, you know what he had to pass? Said between tears before realizing that he slapped the father of the boy she liked. I'm sorry Hokage-sama, said, leaving the place crying. Hinata, whispered Naruto, not knowing what to do. Naruto, go after her, tell her that I deserve that, tell her that she didn't do anything. Finally tell her that I'm happy you have somebody like her caring for you, said Minato, looking at him. Naruto rushed after the girl. Days later, his son and Hinata had their first date. End flashback. And Naruto-kun, please don't think about yourself as a monster, said Hinata, in the verge of tears. She is right, Naruto, said Minato, you are not the fox, you are his prison, the one who protects everybody from his wrath, one of the greatest heroes of Konoha's history. You avenged your mother when we defeated him. She must be really proud of you, said Minato with his hands in Naruto's shoulder. Yes, I am, you're the greatest son in the world. I'm also proud of you, Hinata-chan, taught Kushina. Naruto looked at Hinata and his father, and a smile formed in his face. Why, yes, you both must be right, said, cheering up. Okay, then I'll show the village that I'm not a monster. I'll make them regret not respecting your wishes. Now my only wish is that you become a good and powerful ninja, said Minato, looking at his son. By the way, who's this young lady? Said, looking at Hinata. The poor girl lost all the courage she had earlier, realizing that they caught her spying them. Before Naruto could say anything, his father pretended that he realized it. Of course, said Minato, extending his little finger, she is your girlfriend. Naruto, how did you manage to get such a beautiful and understanding girl? Said, looking proudly at them. Hinata got an ever-seen shade of red, First Naruto's father thinks that they are a couple, then he praises her and looks happy for that. She is my classmate, said Naruto blushing. We are not a couple, said, yet, thought Minato and Kushina in unison. I see, said Minato pretending to look disappointed, so, looking at the way she talked in your favor she must be your closest friend. Is it true, Hinata? Do you think of me as your friend? Said Naruto hopefully. Why yes. I'm your friend and Naruto-kun, whispered Hinata doing her best to not faint, but extremely happy to become Naruto's friend. Thank you Hinata-chan. I'll be the best friend in the world, exclaimed hugging her. Finally she fainted. When she woke up she was leaned against the base of the tree. She noticed she was wrapped with the orange jacket she gave in secret to Naruto. He and his father were looking at her. You awake? I was so worried for you Hinata-chan, said Naruto happily. He called me Hinata-chan, thought her. I told you she would get better Naruto, said his father, then he looked at her. Hinata, do you know who I am? Asked. Why yes, why you are Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. Why you didn't tell who you were really, said in awe. Minato explained the girl why Naruto's true heritage was concealed, and for that reason we hid the truth. Hinata, you are now the only person of your age who knows Naruto's secrets with the exception of Naruto himself. Don't worry Hokage-sama, I will keep your secrets, said Hinata happy. We know you'll do it, now you should go back home before your family worries. She nodded and left the scene. I hope to see you at class next week, Hinata-chan, said Naruto. Later that night, in her room, she cried for Naruto. Naruto got into class ignoring the whispers of the other students. He tried to go to his usual seat, at Sasuke's side, but found it occupied by Sakura. Hello Sakura-chan, you took care of my seat. Did you miss me? Said to the girl. No. I didn't miss you Baka. And I took this seat because it's at Sasuke's side, responded the pink-haired girl. Instead of looking depressed, Naruto remained with his happy mood. Oh well, I don't want to be at the team's side, I'll look for another seat, said to the stupefied Sakura. Naruto then noticed that Hinata had nobody in her side and headed to her. Hello, Hinata. How are you? Asked. I'm fine and Naruto-kun, responded Hinata happy to see that his crush didn't forget her. Before his father came back she noticed that he took a liking for Sakura and she was afraid that he would forget her at the instant he saw Sakura again. Hinata-chan, my old seat is now occupied, is one of the seats at your side free? Asked with his cheery smile. Hinata felt like in a dream. First Naruto was not angry with when she was found her spying on him. She becomes the only person her age besides Naruto who knows their secrets. His father, the Yondaime Hokage, complimented her. Then she became his friend and now he wanted to sit with her. Why yes, and Naruto-kun, the seat at my right eye is free, responded. Great, thank you Hinata-chan, said Naruto happily. She called me Hinata-chan, thought twitching her index fingers with a blush. She felt some killer intent headed at her, coming from some of those girls who were not Sasuke's fangirls. After Naruto's father performance now the other girls will notice him. Especially after we saw the match against the man in green, thought blushing imagining an adult Naruto with an open jacket. Hey, Hinata. Are you alright? Asked Naruto. Why yes, and Naruto-kun, responded her twitching her fingers. How was your training? It was great. Kakashi came and taught me a jutsu he promised me, then my father taught me another one. When I learned the jutsus my father started to teach me the basic about seals. He says that is a settled art in our family that is taught in the late teens but he said that I should start it earlier because my condition, said a bit concerned. I don't care about the condition Naruto-kun, I'll always be your friend, said Hinata. Thank you Hinata-chan. Hey look, the team came holding hands with Ino, said Naruto breaking the atmosphere. The truth was that Ino grabbed Sasuke just before he got into class to create the impression that she came holding hands with Sasuke to tease the other girls. Get off your hands of my Sasuke-kun, Ino pig, protested Sakura. You can't assume that we are made for each other, forehead, responded Ino sticking her tongue at Sakura. Said boy ignored them while he headed to his seat. To his horror he realized that the Dobi was no longer at his side working as his anti-fangirl shield and he was too proud to seek his help. Iruka got into the class without realizing that he had a kiss mark in his neck. You'll see soon how he got it. Smile. Good morning class, said Iruka. All kids looked at him with astonished faces, then the girls started to giggle while some boys pointed at him. Iruka-sensei has a girlfriend. Iruka-sensei has a girlfriend. And she kissed him. Iruka realized the mark and left the room to find a way to hide it. Kushina watched entertained the scene until Mizuki got into class. That traitorous bastard, thought angry, now that she had memories of the future. If I could lay my hands on him I would castrate him, then beat him, then mutilate him, then a Rasengan in the ass. Alright class, with Iruka's absence we'll go to the training ground where you'll do a sparring match against me one by one, said Mizuki. He planned to choose Naruto first, it could be a good chance to see what the Kyuubi boy learned. He would beat him in a sparring match without holding back and then tell that it was a training accident. All students got into the training grounds happy for not having a theory class. Naruto, you'll go first, said with his fake smile. He is planning something, thought Kushina. Yes. I'll show you how strong I am now Mizuki-sensei, said Naruto happily. Why don't we do our match more interesting? Asked Mizuki smiling. What do you mean? Asked Naruto. We should fight without holding back, so you'll show how strong you are in reality, said. He wants to hurt Naruto, thought Kushina furious. Yes. Let's fight without holding back sensei, exploded Naruto happy to have the chance to show his progress to his classmates. Perfect. Now that he accepted in presence of all his classmates nobody would be able to protest after the beating, thought Mizuki smiling. Humph, let's see what learned the Dobi in 2 weeks, thought Sasuke and Kiba. I hope Naruto won't get hurt, thought Hinata. That baka is going to get his ass kicked, thought Sakura and Ino. Troublesome, thought Shikamaru. I should get some honey for my queen, it will be good for her eggs, thought Shino. Barbecue or onion and cheese flavored chips? Thought Kuji. The match began. Mizuki got ready his huge shuriken. Naruto thought it was a good chance to test Kakashi's jutsu. Take this sensei. Taju Ukage shuriken no jutsu. Hours later Minato got into the academy hearing that one of the teachers got into hospital with shuriken wound in the 90 of his body. Then Naruto said concerned that he was the one who did it. Don't worry Naruto-kun, these accidents happen. He assumed that he could get hurt when he proposed the match, said Minato happily. Why don't we go to Ichiraku's to celebrate your first victory against a ninja? Hey! It's true, I beat a Chunin, exclaimed Naruto happy. Many villagers who heard this took note about the Uzumaki's kid improvement and reminded themselves to not mess with any of them. At Ichiraku's Naruto took a bowl of each ramen flavor while Minato took 2 bowls of miso and 1 of pork. He was not very hungry. When he paid, a note fell from his purse. I'll take it, Towson, don't duck, said taking the note. Then he realized something about that note, it was the letter he gave the Hokage a year ago. Naruto looked at it, then at his father and then at the letter again. Minato didn't know what to say. Naruto, about that letter, tried to say before Naruto left the scene running. Minato tried to catch his son but Naruto's ability to escape was not legendary for nothing. Kushina was used to Naruto's skill so she had no problem following him. He found an hour later when he checked their home, Naruto was smiling at him with the letter in his hands. Al thought none of them saw her, Kushina was also smiling. Naruto, the letter, tried to say again but he was interrupted again. Don't worry Dad, I corrected the mistakes, said Naruto handing him the letter. What mistakes? Asked Minato looking at the letter. The writing part of the letter remained the same, however the drawing has been revised. The man of the drawing was now wearing a big white jacket with red flames while the beard was now deleted. The woman now had her hair reaching her waist. Both of them now resembled more to Minato and Kushina. Minato hugged his son relieved. Thank you, Naruto, I love this drawing. I'll keep it forever, said. I also wrote another letter, but this is only for Mom, said Naruto with a slightly sad smile. I see. Are you going to ask the Hokage to deliver it? Asked Minato. And no. I would like to go to the place where she is resting and read it to her, said. I understand. Take your best clothes. I'm ashamed to say that I didn't visit the place yet, said Minato. You had other priorities, Min-kun, thought Kushina. Minutes later Naruto was wearing a black suit while Minato was now in a black kimono. Dad, what are the most beautiful flowers? Asked Naruto. The most beautiful flowers. Those decorating the hair of a girl. Why do you ask? Said Minato. I want to bring some flowers to her, said Naruto smiling. Don't worry. We won't need flowers there, said taking Naruto in arms leaving the place flying. They landed in a field full of flowers. Minato directed Naruto to a big tree. As you can see she won't need more flowers there. She is resting in the base of the tree, said Minato with a slight smile. This place is beautiful. Why you didn't tell me about it before? Asked Naruto. IIW was not ready to come back here. It recalls many memories, said. Kushina knew what he was talking about. This is the place where we confessed our love to each other, we shared many wonderful moments there, said Minato. In one of the upper ranks I wrote something about as Naruto got into the upper branches looking for the writing. I found it, Dad, said happily. It's a heart. It says Minato and Kushina forever. You never told me about that, Minato, thought her. I bet she loved it, Dad, said Naruto. The truth is that I never told her about it, said Minato with a hand behind his head. But another thing happened here, said with a sad face. Then he told Naruto what happened there the night of the attack, including his own death later. During my last seconds, while I was saying goodbye to you, I thought I saw her looking sadly at us, said Minato. Minato. You saw me, thought Kushina in tears. For a moment Naruto didn't say anything. Dad, please. Can you leave me alone here? I want to read her the letter, said. Okay. I'll be back in 30 minutes, said Minato, leaving the place. When Naruto was sure that his father was not in the place, he cried, sad for his family last moments together. Kushina only could mimic a hug to her son during that. Minutes later he calmed down and opened the letter. Kushina stood before Naruto ready to listen her son's thoughts about her. Dear Mom. Time ago I wrote a letter to you and Dad. I didn't know who you were when I wrote it. I didn't know if you loved me until 2 weeks ago. That day Dad came back, I discovered that he was the Yondaime Hokage. Can you believe it? Discovering that the greatest hero in Konoha's story is your own father. When I woke up that morning I thought it was a dream until I saw him making breakfast. Then he told me about you. That you are Kushina Uzumaki, from the Whirlpool country, and showed me your photos. I was right about you. You are the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm not so beautiful, Naruto-kun, taught her with false modesty. I discovered that you also liked ramen and he told me your virtues. He was so proud when he told me about you. I'm a little ashamed to tell you that he used to spy on you using the crystal ball of the Hokage. I'm not angry with him, in fact I think that it is very romantic when you watch it the person you love, thought her, reminding Hinata. That day he started to train me. I discovered that the true reason I was bad in training was because I was too good for the academy training methods. That's not all the truth, Naruto. You didn't take enough attention at class. I wish you could see how strong I became with Dad's training. I will impress everybody in the parents' visit day. It will be the first time I'll be there. I'll make you both very proud. We are already proud of you. My baby dad told me why nobody was told about you both being my parents. He decided to use a secret identity until I were strong enough. I'll get strong as soon as possible so everyone will know that you were the woman who got the Yondaime's heart. Kushina giggled at his words. Naruto continued. He told me that he came from an alternate future. The story he told me was incredible. I told him that there must be a reason why you didn't visit him in the other world. I hope someday we will see you again. I hope that too. A week ago he made a test for determine his ninja rank as Arashi Uzumaki. He was amazing. He defeated all his opponents, outsmarting them. Kakashi told me that he didn't use all his power. Someday I'll be as strong as him. After the match people started to look at us with more respect. Especially the single women. He didn't notice it, but now all females look at him the same way Sasuke's fangirls look at him. I can't wait to see their faces the day he will go without his mask. But don't worry, he won't go with another woman. He still loves you. Sometimes when he is alone he looks at your photos with a dreamy look. He didn't sleep in your room since we came back home after the test. I also saw the room you prepared for me. Naruto now had some tears in his eyes. I didn't realize how much you loved me until I saw it. We decided to leave the room locked until the day someone will need it. For a black-haired grandson with white eyes? Thought her, giggling. Then Dad told me the truth about the QB, that it was sealed inside me. For a moment I thought I was the fox reborn as a human, but luckily Hinata, a girl from my class, appeared and showed me that I was not the fox. She even became my friend. I was lucky that she was passing by there when Dad told me the truth. She was not passing by there, you silly, thought his mother, smiling. However, I still don't know why she blushes and does that funny thing with the fingers when I'm near. Your father will help you to realize it, Naruto-kun. Today I discovered the letter I wrote you both. I took it and corrected the drawing where we are together. Now Dad appears as the Hokage and you have your beautiful long hair as it should be. I think there's nothing more to say. Mom, I love you. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto stored the letter in his jacket. Mom, Dad told me how you died. You and a squad of ninjas tried to defeat the QB so Dad wouldn't die and I wouldn't have the sad life of a Jinchuriki. Thank you, Mom. I promise that I will be happy and make others happy to honor you. That's the promise of a lifetime. "Thank you, Minakin. I know you will do it. You never break your promises," thought her happy. Minutes later Minato came back. They made a few prayers before the tree and went back home, where they spent the rest of the day with Minato explaining Naruto the basics of seals. That night Kushina headed to Naruto's bed and mimicked a kiss in his forehead. "Good night, my young hero," she thought. Next she headed to Minato. It looked like he was having a bad dream. She mimicked a kiss in his lips. For a brief moment she thought she felt the fake kiss. "Good night, my love." Then Minato opened his eyes and looked in disbelief. She realized that he was not looking through her. He was looking at her. Kushina? Somewhere beyond the mortal planes Minato went to bed hoping to have a good rest. He didn't have it. He found himself in a black space, with nothing else there. "Finally I found you, Minato Namikaze, Yondame Hokage of Konoha," said a creepy voice behind him. Minato paled. He never hoped to hear that voice again, at least while he was still alive. The blonde ex-Kage turned slowly, hoping to be wrong about the one who was talking to him. He wasn't. Before him stood the god of death. "I was looking for you since you disappeared from my kingdom 2 weeks ago," said the sinister figure. What is he talking about? "I was resurrected in the future," thought Minato, then he realized it. Of course, the soul of the Minato of this time merged with me, thought. He also realized that his master was going to separate him from Naruto. Again. He took a fighting stance, ready to fight for his soul, although he knew that he was fighting a lost battle. He was facing the most powerful being in all eternity. "Why this attitude, Minato-kun? Is this way to greet your master?" asked the Shinigami amused. "I won't let you separate me from my son again, sire. I'm sorry, but I won't go back to your kingdom until I die again. Die again? Wait. Why are you alive?" asked the Shinigami in a very funny un-Shinigami tone. Minato's sweat dropped before his master's attitude and told him all his story, with special remark in the seal he used for avoid the effects of the Edo Tensei. "I see. You'll be glad to know that I don't have power over the alive, so I won't take you back," said the god. Minato exhaled relieved. His master realized it amused. "I'm a patient god. Everyone will die eventually, even other gods. You'll come back to my kingdom someday. Meanwhile you'll send me more and more warriors. Those who deserve it will go to the kingdom, others elsewhere," said in a creepy tone. "Thank you, sire," said Minato. "Not so fast, Minato-kun. I have a mission for you. You'll eventually fight those fools Hidan, Kakuzu and Orochimaru. Their tries to avoid their fate are annoying me. Kill them. Immortality is not for mortals." "Yes, sire," said Minato. He didn't need to ask me that, thought. "One more thing, Minato-kun," said the god. Many of those who had been in near-death experiences eventually developed the ability to see those who are trapped between the world of the living and the world of the death. With unnatural speed he grabbed and immobilized Minato with one hand, then he extended the middle and index fingers of his other hand. A white flame appeared in each finger and he got them closer to Minato's eyes. "Master? Why are you doing this?" said Minato confused. "Silence. You have been in the two worlds. You are starting to develop that ability. I will give you a little push. You'll thank me after this. Many of your questions will be answered and you'll thank me," responded, touching Minato's eyes with the flames. Minato expected to feel pain, but instead of it he felt like he had cleaned his eyes. The god released him and felt like his body was disappearing. "It's your time to go back. Farewell, Minato Namikaze. Someday we will meet again," said the god. When Minato finally disappeared, the god of death changed his appearance into a good-looking man with pale skin and long black hair. A woman with sobrenatural beauty appeared and hugged him from behind, the goddess of love. "You did it, honey. Now they will be able to see each other." "Yay," cheered the beauty. "Yes. But will they be happy?" asked Death. "They will. It will be hard, but they'll surpass all difficulties." "Date bio," said the hyperactive love. "Why the hell I married you?" asked Death. "Because love prevails even beyond death," responded her, kissing him. Uzumaki residence. For a brief moment Minato had feeling in his lips, something he didn't felt for years. He opened his eyes. And he saw her. "Kushina?" They stared at each other, trying to assume that they were looking at each other. A faint smile and tears of happiness appeared in their faces. "Kushi-chan!" exclaimed him. They rushed to embrace each other. But her arms passed through him to their disillusionment. "No," babbled him. She tried to touch his face, she attempted to caress his hair. They couldn't. He only could see her form, not hear or touch her. Kushina felt like in Naruto's first years, again the impotence of not touching her loved ones. Kushi-chan. Why, you're a ghost? Whispered. Kushina embraced herself and started to cry, turning her back to Minato so he couldn't see her crying. With this painful revelation, Minato finally realized why she didn't come to see him all those years, from where came the voice that helped him in that genjutsu, the words of the god. He was unable to see her crying. He rushed to embrace her. He couldn't. He tried it many times, failing all. Minutes later she calmed down and regained her composure to his surprise. You always have been very strong, Kushi-chan, thought Minato with a sad smile. She responded him with another sad smile. They didn't dare to try to touch each other again. All these years you have been looking after our son, didn't you, my love? Asked him. She nodded. It must have been a hell. Not being able to hug him. Unable to tell him how much you loved him. Seeing how he wasn't honored as he deserved, said sadly. Kushina recalled some of that painful memories until she recalled also that day 2 weeks ago when he came back. She started to do some gestures. Minato recognized the hand sign language. But now, everything fine. You back. Naruto. Happy, he whispered. She nodded at his words. I'm happy too. You know what happened to me, don't you, my love? Asked. She nodded again. Although that place was supposed to be a paradise, it wasn't with neither of you there. She responded with an understanding smile. Dad, who are you talking at? Asked a sleepy Naruto. Kushina looked hopefully at her son. Naruto didn't saw her. Naruto. Can't you see her? Asked Minato. See who, Dad? Asked Naruto, yawning. Kushina face saddened. That vision was like a knife through Minato's heart. Nothing, Naruto-kun. Come back to sleep, said Minato, disguising his sadness. She cried again. This time for hours. The only thing he could do was mimicking an embrace to her. When Minato opened his eyes, he found Kushina lying in his bed. He smiled at her. She smiled back. For a brief moment they thought that they were again in their first days as newly married. He would put away the lock of hair that was covering her eye. She would giggle and poke his face. Then he would bring her closer and kiss her. Minato had to use all his willpower for not trying it and break the illusion. Same happened to her. Their thoughts were interrupted by Naruto's yawns. Waking up. Morning, Dad. Did you have a good sleep? Asked Naruto. Yes, son, said smiling at Kushina. I never slept so well in 18 years. Minato didn't lie. Although he was extremely sad for Kushina's situation, a part of him was happy to see her again, to know that she didn't hate him, to be able to communicate with her. No. I won't let things stay like this, thought with resolution. Minato created a demi-clone who looked like a butler and headed at their son. Naruto, the butler will make your breakfast and your takeaway lunch. Go with him to the kitchen. I'll join you in a few minutes, said. Naruto dressed in one of his orange jumpsuits and left the room accompanied by the butler. What are you going to make me for breakfast? And for lunch? Asked Naruto in their way. Whatever Naruto-sama wants, said the butler in a neutral tone. Naruto smiled. Finally he was going to have a pause in the healthy food diet that his father imposed. Why Dad can realize that a ramen based is good enough for the future Hokage. Minato asked Kushina for follow him and took her to a room in the basement. Minato's library, the book collection and archives, was able to compete with Konoha's library. It was the compilation of years of research and compilation about all sorts of knowledge by Minato's family. This room is soundproof, Kushi-chan. Here I can talk with you without looking like a madman before Naruto, said to her. Understood, responded her with hand sign language. I'm going to bring you back. If I came back you won't be less, my love. There's a way. I'll find it, said with determination. Kushina felt hope and reborn. Minato will find a way. They will be family again. She responded with a smile. They looked hopefully at each other for a moment until Minato broke the moment. Kushina. Shall I tell Naruto about your situation? Asked in a serious tone. No. He. Now. Happy. If. He. Know. About. Me. He. Sad, responded her. But. There must be a lot of things that you should want to tell him, said before being interrupted. Wait. Until. You. Bring. Me. Back, said her. I understand. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, responded him. He created a clone who proceeded to do the same jutsu. 15 more clones appeared. Alright guys, you know what to do. Start the research now. If it's necessary, create extra clones and go to Konoha's library to get extra info. If you feel tired, use the soldier pills trick, ordered to the clones. Hi, responded them. Soldier pills trick, asked Kushina. Yes, it was discovered yesterday by the clones I create all mornings for my own training. With a soldier pill you refill your chakra like you had a day of resting. They have the drawback that they can damage your body if you abuse them, but one of my clones realized that it doesn't matter for clones. Now in combat I can spend a minimum quantity of chakra to create clones, and next they can take pills for recharge themselves, then they will be using chakra expending jutsus while I keep my chakra, said Minato. It. Genius, said her with stars in her eyes. Someone would have figured it out sooner or later, said Minato with a slight blush. Kushina giggled, happy for still being able to make him blush. When she finished giggling she took a more serious face, gaining all Minato's attention. I. Too. From. Future, said. Minato's face was priceless. What? For the next 15 minutes she explained to him that her future self was dragged with him in Madara's trap and that she merged with her past self. Minato needed a seat after she finished. So, this is how the others felt after my story, thought. He got up excited. Kushi-chan. Now we can use what you know for stop all the bad things from the future. I only knew what Naruto told me and what happened after my return, said happily. He tried to hug her, but he passed through her again. They looked at each other sadly without telling anything. I must go you upstairs with. It's getting late, said him, breaking the silence. She nodded and followed him. The main clone headed to the other ones. He wanted to give them an inspirational speech but he only could say a few words. We must find the way to have her back, said. Hi, responded all. He realized that they didn't any extra inspiration. Being everyone a part of Minato, they had for her the same love as the original. They will work in the research until their end without rest. As the main clone who had to receive the memories and substitute the clones, he regretted being resting instead of joining them. They found Naruto having some cereals and not very happy. The sink was full of ramen bowls. The butler was nowhere to be seen. Where's the butler? And why are you having cereals? Asked Minato. I thought you would order him to make you ramen. I said him to make me 10 bowls of all types of ramen, but he used sugar instead of salt for most of them, said. I beat him for spoil my ramen until he dispelled. Nobody mess up with my ramen, exclaimed in a vindicative tone. Well done Naruto-chan. Ramen is sacred, thought Kushina in approval. I forgot that the demi-clone had my almost non-existent cooking skills. In fact I only can prepare the recipe that Kushina taught me, thought Minato. He noticed that there was a bowl of ramen in the table. Why you left this one? Asked. It's the only one he managed to cook well, Mom's recipe. I left it for you since I dispelled the one who was supposed to make our breakfast, said Naruto. Naruto's words touched his parents. Why don't we share the bowl? I'm the one who created an incompetent servant, proposed Minato. Naruto's mood changed. Really? Can we do it all mornings? Can we? Said with stars in his eyes. Nope, this is an exception. If you want to be a healthy ninja and competent ninja you won't have ramen for breakfast, said Minato in his strict father mode. Oh, complained his son. Later at the academy Minato landed in front of the entrance with Naruto grabbing him from behind. The other children looked at them with awe and envy. Kushina arrived at the scene a few moments later. Unlike Minato she couldn't fly, she only floated a few inches over the ground, but she had the advantage of not passing through any obstacle so she could go to the academy in a straight line. She saw the envy faces of the other children and smiled. Yes, envy him, brats. His father is much better than that ungrateful bastards of yours, thought. A good day in school, Naruto, said Minato. Yes, Towson, responded Naruto, giving him a quick hug and heading to class. Kushina was smiling at them, but for a brief moment Minato saw a hint of envy in her eyes. He vowed again to revive her. Minato headed to the mission briefing zone to do more flying ninja ride assignments. Luckily for him he didn't have to turn into the Wonder Pony again. Unluckily for him this time he had to give a round trip to some rich ladies who saw his performance in the Colosseum and wanted to fly in the strong arms of the attractive ninja. The fact was that most of the ladies were really beautiful. Another man would have enjoyed the job if he didn't have to feel the glares of his jealous ghost wife. When he finished the jobs, the Hokage headed to him accompanied by Kurenai and a young girl. I have good news for you, Arashi. We will have this sort missions only 2 days each week, said Sarutobi. Minato and Kushina felt relieved. However the Hokage continued talking. A problem you can help to solve with your ceiling had come up. Let me introduce you to Kurenai and her apprentice Yakumo. Arashi divided his attention between the tale of Yakumo's problem with her power and Kushina's information about it. Meanwhile, in the academy Iruka got into class. After put in line the students and threat with class detention those who dared to ask him about his mark or love life, he started a speech. As you know, Mizuki-sensei won't be able to go here for a few days. Most students looked at Naruto, who was with his teeth showing smile and his hand behind his head. Iruka coughed and continued, "So it has been decided that some ninjas will go here in their spare time to give you classes." Obviously this was followed by some murmurs until Iruka coughed again. "I also want to introduce you to a new student." An extremely pale boy with an emotionless face got into the class, gaining the attention of many girls. "He shouldn't be here. This must be one of Dansu's schemes. I should better keep an eye of him," thought Shino. "Troublesome. History is changing again," thought Shikamaru. The pale boy headed to the other students with a smile. "Good morning, my name is Sai." Shikamaru sighed. 2 weeks ago he was a lazy academy student and next day he was an unwilling time traveler from a future that didn't happen yet. At first it was not that bad, now he could prevent Asuma's death knowing how to fight Hidan. It also had many drawbacks. First, he had to stay again in the troublesome academy. Second, he had to keep his true skills hidden so he won't become the rookie of the year and being stuck with Naruto and Sakura. It's not like he wouldn't like to be in the same team with them, but he used to fight with his old team, and the fact that Sakura was utterly useless until Sasuke left the village and she started her training with Tsunade. Third, he had to find a way to prevent Orochimaru putting the curse seal on Sasuke. The brooding Uchiha left Konoha for get more power. If he didn't taste the power of the curse seal he would be more willing to stay in Konoha, especially after he tells Sasuke that the strongest ninjas they knew, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru, the Ondaime, even Itachi became strong in Konoha. Shikamaru didn't give a shit for Sasuke, but he knew that their chances against the Akatsuki would rise if they had the Uchiha in their side. He didn't hate the Uchiha like many of his friends did after his defection. Hating is too troublesome. But he wouldn't have any remorse to assassinate him if he gets the curse seal. Fourth, he had to prevent the Sondaime's death. It will be the most hard part to achieve because it would mean that he will have to face Orochimaru and the other Hokages. He already had figured out a plan that involved he and his teammates not participating in the finals of the Chunin exams, getting near the Hokage stand and use Ino's Shinshin no Jutsu and his own Kage main no Jutsu against the Sound Four and make them dispel the barrier. The Anbu would do the rest. It had the bonus that he won't receive the troublesome Chunin rank so soon and he would have to defeat Tuya without being in debt with Temari. Of course he discarded the idea of telling that he came from the future. He would be sent to the hospital's mental ward. All his plans synced in the toilet when he heard that a guy that claimed to be Naruto's father was going to have a test in the arena for determining his rank. Naruto's father was the Yondaime and he wasn't resurrected yet, wasn't he? He appeared dressed with the same black outfit and cloak the Yondaime wore before they were attacked by Madara and he sent back in time. Nobody told him that he looked like a mix of Kakuzu and Hidan with that black mask and showing the chest. Perhaps those who were with them also came back too. His suspects were confirmed when he dispatched all his opponents. He was able to beat Guy with 6 gates opened. Then he defeated his father and his team using Naruto's silly move. He played with the Anbu team until one of them happened to be Itachi under disguise. It gave him more questions. Did Madara came back in time too and send Itachi to kill the Yondaime with a surprise attack? Or did Itachi heard of the Kyuubi vessel's father and wanted to test the power of a future opponent? Now things were radically different. Next day Shino approached him. Flashback. Good morning Shikamaru, do you come from the future? Asked the Aburame. The Nara was surprised by the other boy's direct approach. He would have expected something like that from Kiba or Naruto. Well, at least he wouldn't have to do a troublesome research to check if Shino was another time traveler. Yes, I came. What would have you done if I said no? Responded Shikamaru. I would call you a liar. Your chakra is Chunin level, last week was academy student level. You are not different physically than a week ago, so your chakra didn't increase for your physical energies. Only a dramatic increase of your spiritual energies would have increased your chakra in such short amount of time. Spiritual energies increase mainly by experience, so you must have acquired years of experience recently. How? Receiving the memories of a future yourself, said Shino. Shikamaru was almost impressed. In the future he realized that Shino was probably the smartest of their generation after he and Neji, but he managed to hide it. I see. So you know that Arashi Uzumaki is, said, letting Shino finish the sentence, Minato Namikaze. And you know that our senseis will, continued the glass boy, get married and have a son, finished Shikamaru. I'm glad not being the only one who came back, said Shikamaru with a slight smile. Me too. I was trying to find a way to change the worst events of the future without being messing the others. I'm glad for not being alone in this, said Shino smiling, a rare sight. Naruto was right. You can smile, said Shikamaru. What? I told him not to tell anybody. I should to kill him, said Shino, regaining his composure. I doubt his father would let you. You know, we must approach him and tell him. He probably doesn't know that we came back too, said Shikamaru. Yes, there's a high chance that he told the Hokage that he came from future. Obviously the Yondaime proved him his identity and he should have been more open to the time travel story, said Shino. Shikamaru nodded. Yes, now with their help we can prevent the Sound Sand attack, the Sundaime's and Asuma's death, Sasuke's betrayal, said Shikamaru. Yes. But if Sasuke gets marked by Orochimaru or shows any signs of defect to Sound, I'll kill him with no remorse, said Shino. I agree with you, said Shikamaru. I'm glad. I suppose that the others also came back, said the other boy. Yes, I think so, perhaps even Madara, said Shikamaru. Another reason to approach Yondaime-sama as soon as we can, said Shino. And flashback, unfortunately they discovered that the Uzumakis moved to another place. Instead of asking for their new address and raise suspicions, they chose to wait until Naruto came back to class a week later after his special training. A week later, before they approached him, the incident with Mizuki happened. Now, next day they saw appears when he was still a Dansu's agent. Excuse me a moment. I'll go to my office for get some notes I need for today's lesson, said Iruka, leaving the class. Shikamaru noticed one of Shino's spy bugs in his desk. We should wait and see what he wants. I bet he will approach Naruto, whispered to the bug. Said insect came back to the Aburame, who nodded. Sai ignored the whispers of the girls and headed to Naruto, who was at Hinata's side. Excuse me, is this seat free? Said with a smile, pointing at a seat. Yes, it is, you can sit here. By the way, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage, and this is my friend Hinata Hyuga, said the blonde. And nice to meet you, Sai-san, said Hinata. Sai reminded his mission. He had to infiltrate in that class, befriend Uzumaki Naruto and discover all secrets he could about the new clan. A day before he read a book about making friends. It recommended to praise the friends of the person you wanted to befriend. You are very lucky, Naruto-san, being at the side of such a beautiful lady, said smiling A. Thanks, responded Naruto, a bit confused. Poor Hinata was once again read. Another person saying that she was beautiful and Naruto was not disagreeing with him. Their conversation was interrupted by the best student of the class. You know who? Naruto, fight me, said Sasuke. Sure, team. Prepare to have your ass kicked, responded Naruto, excited. Obviously, after Naruto's father proving being able to fight Itachi and Naruto defeating a Chunin like Mizuki, now Sasuke sees Naruto as a good mean to test his power, thought Shino and Shikamaru. Naruto got up and took a fighting stance. Now all class was staring at them, expecting to see a good fight. Not here, idiot, we'll fight in outside's training ground, at lunchtime, said the Uchiha, turning his back at Naruto, coming back to his seat. Most girls sighed, commenting how cool looked Sasuke. Sai reminded that a good way to become somebody's friend was siding with him against his enemies. What were we talking about before the dickless duckbutt head interrupted us? Asked aloud. W.A. Ha, 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 ha. Sasuke, a dickless duckbutt head. It's better than team. W.A. Ha, 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 laughed Naruto. The others boys would have joined him if they didn't notice the rising killer intents. Naruto laughed until he felt them too and opened his eyes. All Sasuke's fangirls were glaring at him and Sai with murderous eyes. How that Bakas dare to insult Sasuke-kun. Let's crush them, screamed inner Sakura. Sai reminded that the book said that a good friend helps when the other is endangered. He stood before the fangirls. I'm trying to have a civilized talk with Naruto-kun here. Do you want anything, ugly horse? Asked, keeping his smile. What came next was one of the most horrific thing the boys, and Hinata, saw. Iruka came back to class. He found his favorite student and the new kid beaten, with Hinata giving them some first aid. What happened here? Asked angried. Sai reminded that the book told him that people value sincerity. The dickless duck-butt-headed bitches attacked us viciously, especially the ugly big forehead one, said. Hey, protested Naruto, Sakura-chan has a big forehead but she is not ugly, said, hoping to make amends with her. He shut up when he received an evil glare from said girl for informing Iruka by mistake. Sasuke-kun will avenge us at lunchtime, Baka, screamed inner Sakura. The fangirls received a boring chat from Iruka about not being vicious with their classmates. Later he made Sai chew a soap piece for being so bad-mouthed. When this mission finish, I'll look after the writer of that book and make him eat 10 copies, thought Sai. Minato kept looking at Kushina's explanations about Yakumo after the Hokage finished the story, Pretending to look thinking about Sarutobi told. Arashi-san? Arashi-san was going on? Asked Kurenai. Eh? Sorry, Kurenai-san, I was thinking about you told me. I think that there's a way to resolve Yakumo's problem with her powers without sealing them, said. Teacher and student looked at him with hopeful looks. Really, Arashi-san? I won't have to give up my ninja career? Said the girl. Yes, there's a possibilities. But, in the worst scenario, if we have to seal your powers you shouldn't forfeit your ninja career. Most ninjas don't have birth powers, they have acquired their power by training and learning. Your sensei and the Hokage himself don't have blood limits but are among the most powerful ninjas alive, said. The girl blushed, a little ashamed by Arashi's words. Kurenai would have blushed too if she didn't have the auto-control and discipline that came from her training. Arashi continued talking. There are some points that I have to talk with the Hokage in private. I'm sorry Kurenai-san, Yakumo-san, but it involves some high-class village secrets, excused him. Kurenai and Yakumo left the place, the former hoping that those secrets didn't relate the one with the Uzumakis. The Hokage performed a jutsu that made his office soundproof and looked at Arashi while puffing his pipe. It looks like you know about the girl's problem more than it appears. You have info from the future about it don't you? Yes, Arashi said, Yakumo's reality-altering powers will have to be sealed if we don't destroy the demon who is trying to possess them. The Hokage paled. A demon? What are you talking about? Arashi looked to be looking at the window but the truth was that he was looking at Kushina's last explanations about Yakumo. Kushina finished her explanation and Arashi looked at his expecting leader. That girl, subconsciously, created a demon with her powers, the personification of her own fears. It messed with her control with her powers making them dangerous for everyone as you told. It increases her fear and makes him stronger. In the world where I came Kurenai and you sealed her powers, then she renounced her ninja career and was put under observation. 3 years later the demon got enough strength to control Yakumo's powers and almost kills Kurenai, who tried to help Yakumo. Kurenai's demon Naruto came to help and finally Yakumo destroys the demon with Naruto's help, explained Arashi. Sarutobi thought about Arashi's words for a few moments. Another demon. I don't want Yakumo to pass the same as Naruto. You are forbidden to tell anybody about this without my express permission, but it's not necessary to tell you that, said. Arashi nodded in agreement. But unlike Naruto's, this demon is not attached to his host's life, he can be extracted without killing her. First we should confirm his existence to Kurenai and Yakumo with Inoiki's help with mind jutsus, then we will have to find a container to transfer the demon. I have a funjutsu that transfers sealed things from a container to another without releasing them. I can alter it to transfer said demon, said the X-Gage. Sarutobi felt relieved. Konoha was not going to lose another blood limit and a promising ninja as he feared when Kurenai came that morning. Come back here tomorrow, we will perform the test and proceed with the extraction as soon as we find a suitable container for the demon. You are dismissed, said. Arashi left the building, followed by Kushina. What should I do the rest of the morning until Naruto finish academy? I have clones doing the research for Kushi-chan and others doing the special training, thought until his face lightened. Of course. I didn't meet him yet, thought while heading to the market district. Kushina followed him, still not knowing what he was thinking about. Later, in one of Konoha's bars, Shikaku, Inoiki and Kuza were not having their best week. After they were disqualified by their wives in the match against Rashi Uzumaki they became the laughing stuff of the clients of all the bars in Konoha. Kuza was the one who was having it worse. After the lady clone comment people was wondering if he could use the Baiken no Jutsu for improving his stuff. Instead of being mocked by other men, he was harassed by women asking him if he could do that. They were near the boiling point when they got into the bar earlier. Then somebody mimicked the sound of a whip. They snapped. That's enough, roared Inoiki. Team, it's time to show these Baikas some manners. Yes, it has become too troublesome to keep standing them, agreed Shikaku, getting up. A little exercise before lunch will be fine, said Kuza drawing his massive club. The subsequent bar fight started. While the Shikayamacho trio regained the respect of the clients, nobody noticed Rashi Uzumaki heading to the bartender. Minutes later the fight finished with the all minus the trio and the bartender with broken bones. I think we should take a drink for celebrate our victory. Boy, 3 cups of sake, said Shikaku to the bartender. I'm sorry, sir. But during the fight a man named Arashi Uzumaki came and bought all alcoholic drinks in stock, said with a stoic face while counting a pile of money. They looked at him like he had grown another head. What? What I said, gentlemen. And by the way, You started the fight, so you will have to pay for the damage in my store, said, keeping his stoic face. What? Similar scenes happened in the rest of Konoha's bars and in many stores, with Arashi buying all stock. Meanwhile, at the academy, many students from all classes were gathering at the entrance. Rumors about the incoming fight between Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uzumaki spreaded fast thanks to Sasuke's fangirls and their network system. Students from the upper class came to see the fight after they heard that one of the fighters was the one who sent one of the teachers to hospital with multiple wounds and the other the last Uchiha TM. Neji, as the most skilled student in the last class, was not very interested in the fight until he heard the names of the contenders. There was always the doubt about what blood limit was the strongest in Konoha, the Byakugan or the Sharingan. With the Uchiha's massacre, the old doubt about what clan was stronger was resolved easily, with only one Uchiha left. All he knew about the famous Sharingan was what the elder Hyugas told him. According to them, the Sharingan didn't awaken by its own when the child was old enough like the Byakugan. It awakens in life or death situations, so that Uchihas who took a civilian life never developed their power. The prodigy saw this as a proof of the superiority of his blood limit, a power that came naturally by fate. He was also interested in his contender, Naruto Uzumaki. According to what he heard, the blonde was the death last of his class, at least until 2 weeks ago. His father reappeared and took him for an intensive training, then he sent one of the Chunin teachers to hospital. The truth was that he was more interested in the kid's father. That man claimed to know his own father to the point of developing a new jutsu with him. He even gave his father's name to the jutsu. He now had to find a way to contact this man and convince him to teach him said jutsu. The other students were having their own thoughts. Many thought that Sasuke wanted to show the superiority of his clan after Naruto's father fought Sasuke's brother in the arena. The fangirls, especially Sakura, believed that Sasuke was going to avenge their honor. Shino and Shikamaru were interested to see how powerful was Naruto compared with his future self after 2 weeks of training with the Yondaime. Until yesterday, Kiba didn't believe his mother's words about how strong was Naruto becoming. After Mizuki's incident, he vowed to take his studies more seriously for not becoming the new death last. Kuji was thinking what he will have for lunch. Hinata noticed that some girls were looking at Naruto interested. Oh no! If Naruto wins, he will have fangirls after him and he could forget about me. Naruto and Sasuke were in the center of the courtyard, ready to fight. Nobody told anything. They looked at each other taking fighting stances. Oh, crap. I forgot it. Wait a moment, team, said Naruto, breaking the moment. Sasuke looked at the blonde annoyed while he took a scroll from his jacket. A scroll? Everyone looked puzzled at the scroll while the blonde unrolled it. Then Naruto made a mark in one of the seals with his own blood, releasing some papers. What? I thought I was the only academy student one who knew about sealing, thought Tenten. Many kids were surprised at the discovery that it was possible to store things in seals. Others were disappointed that Naruto released some papers instead of a cool weapon. Naruto handled one of the papers and a pencil to the Uchiha. What is this, Dobi? Asked. It's a form where me and my family decline any responsibilities about the injuries you could get fighting me. My dad gave me them after Mizuki got into the hospital. We need your signature and your legal guardian's one, said the blonde. Sasuke looked at the scroll with disgust and took it. The Hokage was the legal guardian of all orphans, so he needed him to sign this paper. Fine, Dobe. As soon as I get the signature I will fight you, said, looking cool, leaving the place to the Hokage tower. The public left the place disappointed for the anticlimax. Later, on exit time, Arashi Uzumaki arrived at Shul Landing in a spectacular way to increase the envyometer of the other kids. Neji tried to talk to him but Naruto overpassed him to hug his father. Did you have a good day, Naruto? Did you take attention at your teacher? Asked Arashi with a smile under his mask. Yes, Dad. But I prefer when you train me. What are you going to teach me today? Said Naruto. Nothing, today I'm going to introduce you to an old friend of mine, you'll like him, responded. Before Neji could say anything to them, they left the place flying. He cursed his fate the rest of the day until he noticed that he had a note in his desk when he arrived home. Dear Neji Hyuga, I noticed that you want to talk to me. I'm not surprised after I claimed that I'm your father. Come tomorrow evening with your cousin Hinata to Training Ground 54 where I'll give you something that he would desire you to have. Have a good day. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.